Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Sportsman's Warehouse and the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
You're listening to the best of Outdoors with Larry Ray 2019.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this very special show on this March the 9th, one of our favorite shows of the year. And again, thankful to Ron Wong for putting this together. And Ron, I know you had fun compiling this list. It's, I think, one of your favorite things to do.
Absolutely, a lot of fun. And, you know, all of these competitors that we're going to be talking about that's in the this year's Classic are just top-notch anglers, but more importantly, top-notch people. They are. They are the role models that we all want to look up to.
Well, we got one on the line right now that is number one role when it comes to it, probably, because
he is number one.
He is number one, and always a favorite to have Kevin VanDam on our show this morning. And good morning. Hey, Kevin, how you doing?
Morning, guys.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Okay, if I think so was
well,
like
he's out on the water, so we may lose him, and we may not.
It's like that commercial. the doctor says, "I'm okay,"
Yep.
you know. So Kevin said,
"Yeah, it's you know how this river is. It's pretty windy around here. Service is kind of intermittent, but I'm doing my best."
And it's the first day of practice for you, Kevin, for the Classic. So
he's done that before.
You know, it's you don't have time to waste, do you?
No, you know, it's critical, you know, to try to. This is a big body of water.
Yes, it
is.
is.
With the two lakes and all the rivers, and it's muddy and cold, and it's a challenge. So I need to cover a lot of water to find the right areas.
What about coming to Knoxville? I mean, for you just mentioned a whole lot of things on this thing, and I know the people are excited to have the Classic there in Knoxville. From the angler side, there's a lot of challenges, isn't there?
Yeah, it's a big body of water, which I like. I mean, I like having a big playing field. Gives you a lot of options. Knoxville is definitely a great town. You know, We've never had a Classic in this region, and my lifetime. So this is my 28th Classic. So, and there's a lot of fishing fans within a few hours drive here, and I think everybody's kind of anxious to see how we're going to break down these conditions. You know, with all the rain, that I mean, it just seems like it's been all fall to now, and the muddy water and cold conditions. It's not easy.
And I know we've got not only Ron there with Mark Copley, and I know Mark Kevin's part of that. Strike King family. Talk about the relationship with Strike King and Kevin.
Absolutely, and you know, Strike King is a Tennessee company too, so we're happy to have, even though it's at the other end of the state, we're very happy to have the Classic in our home state. So, but Kevin has always been a great representative of Strike King, and not only for the way he fishes, but and how he's helped develop lures. And it's going to be very interesting, Kevin, on how this lays out. You don't know if they're going to be on the river, if they're going to be in the lakes. There's a lot of things that could be at play, especially with this muddy water.
Yeah, the good thing is I've got all the tools that I need from Strike King. A lot of them are my own design to where I've got confidence that, you know, I've got something that I know is going to work. And, you know, it's been awesome for me to be part of Strike King for so long, and, again, to have such an instrumental part in developing the baits that I get to compete with. And, you know, that's all I've ever wanted, is to have the best lures that help me catch, you know, the most bass. And with Strike King, I have that. So no excuses. I just got to make it happen, and you just got to execute when competition time, because a lot's going to change. We got a lot more rain coming in the forecast.
Yes.
And water levels are going to fluctuate, and that's all, you know, that's all part of it. But it's not new. It's just a puzzle we all have to try to figure out.
You know, because of the conditions, Kevin, as you're talking about, muddy, high, cold, is it as big as the water is? Is it going to make the lakes fish smaller?
I think it's going to fish real big, partly because the water's cold, so you can't fish too fast.
Yeah. And
partly because there is smallmouth and largemouth. And there's just so much here. There's so much cover. There's lots of, there's docks, there's laydowns, and there's lots of rock, and there's just a ton of shoreline because it's so long. And with, both lakes in play and all the little winding rivers, it's from a fishing standpoint, it's pretty hard to have a much bigger playing field than this, on this time of the year. If it was stable, it would even be that much harder because you'd have, suspending fish to think about. You'd have offshore fish to think about. Now with these conditions, with all the current and the cold water and the dirty water, it's going to rule some things out, so it'll make it a little bit easier, but it's still going to be plenty big.
And again, we're talking to Kevin VanDam about the Bassmaster Classic. It rolls out next weekend in Knoxville, Tennessee. Exciting time for all of us Tennessean. And you mentioned 28 classics, Kevin. Never been to this place. 28 classics. Is the fire there?
Oh, I definitely want to win as bad as anybody could possibly want it, I think. The thing for me is I've been doing this a long time. I've been fortunate enough to win 4 of them. Yep. And I can tell you my first one was awesome, but the last one was the most special. The longer that I do this, the more I learn to appreciate those special moments, and it would be incredible to win 5. And that's what I'm going for, but it's going to be a tough road.
Well, I tell you what, you and the other old-timer Rick Clunn, who has won 4 times or not. It seems like yesterday you were 23 years old, coming out of Michigan. I can remember that. That's how old I am, Kevin. So I'm I know that fire there, and with Copley here, can I tell this? I mean, this is a story. You and Copley were actually on St. Clair, I think it was, and you actually hit him with a spinnerbait. Is that true?
No. He stepped behind me and ran into my spinnerbait.
Okay.
Why did I know it would be my fault?
I couldn't help. That was one of those memories that this young cameraman was back there, and he stepped into it. Now you know it now. The true story of Mark Copley.
It was a bad deal for both Mark and the spinnerbait.
And your reel that blew up when it hit me.
Well, I know, and the trip to the ER. But I can relate to this. I had a guy pay to fish with me at Pickwick, $200 and $300 in the auction.
That is amazing.
And I hit him in the head with a crankbait.
Oh my!
And anyway, it's a long story. But hey, Kevin, I know this. When you come into this thing, and the Strike King family is part of this. You look at it, golly, with the 4 classic, the 28 times in the classic, and you come to Knoxville, the fans are going to be there, buddy. I can tell you from Memphis to Knoxville to Bristol, Nashville, I really think that this is going to be, and you can correct me on this, maybe one of the most attended classics. How do you feel about that?
I would agree. I think, with that, not only with the expansion of Major League Fishing and them starting the Bass Pro Tour and a lot of the guys going there, like myself with it being, one of potentially my last classics, I think a lot of people want to see that. But also, like you say, the proximity to so many fishing fans. So I would urge it. The Classic is a really special event. The outdoor show in itself is worth coming to.
Yeah.
There's so much to see and do and so much going on. There's just such energy and such buzz. As a fan of the sport, which I'm a fan first,
you are.
There's just something really, really special about the Classic. I think, there's other championship events out there, but Ray Scott, from his initial early days and the way he built the Classic, he made it. That mystique is what's, and it's kept it over all these years. So it's something I definitely look forward to every year.
Well, at least you know where you're going in the Classic. I'm going to be those early days when they put you on a plane, you didn't know where it was going to be. So, have you heard about that one? You were a pup back then, I know.
Yeah, so. I didn't do that, but when we first started, we used to just have to use one tackle box and
that's right.
Got to use pick 7 rods. And now it's
10 pounds of tackle.
Those old 10 pounds of tackle, and then it was just one plain old tackle box, and now it's whatever we want, but it's those things that really built the mystique of it in the beginning.
And so, how much tackle will Kevin VanDam have on his boat?
I've got a bunch. I've got at least 1,000 Strike King crankbaits. I'd hate to tell you how many pounds of plastic. awful lot of jigs, spinner baits.
That Z21 has lots of storage.
If I'm run short.
Yeah, that the boat has changed too, Kevin. You got to admit that. You got a little bit more storage in this one than you had back in the first time. So,
yeah, and I got every bit of it full.
You got it full. Well, hey, we appreciate you being with us on this Saturday morning. I know it's a key morning for you, but you're always available. So tell your wife, Sherry, and all the family. A lot of fans, I know the Memphis area will be over there. And I hate to tell you, but there's a lot of people going to be wearing orange. Just get ready for it, Kevin. It's coming, okay? I mean,
everybody can't be perfect.
There you go.
Amen.
Hey, now we end it with that.
That's what.
Hey, buddy. I hate to end it like that, but
So, and I'm bringing a little Memphis Tiger blue from the west.
Okay. At least you didn't say Memphis State, so that's even made it better. Kevin, I don't believe in luck, buddy. Appreciate you being on Outdoors with Larry Ray. I know you caught over 11,000 pounds of fish. I got to ask you real quickly, what do you think it's going to take?
With the conditions the way they are, I think it's going to take a little less than what guys originally thought.
Yeah.
And a lot of that depends on how much rain we get this week.
Yeah.
But I think if you can catch 15 pounds a day,
Ooh, yeah.
You're gonna scare the heck out of it at the end of the event.
Well, I know you're good at scaring the heck out of it. I know that for a fact, buddy. Thank you a lot, and be safe. And we hope to talk to you later, okay? So look out for Ron Wong. He'll be over there running around, okay?
Kevin,
I got to get back to work. You boys have a good one.
All right, thanks,
All right,
Kevin.
thanks.
All right, Kevin VanDam. All right, let's take a break. Come right back. That was good. It was really good. All right. Come right back. We're going to talk from Kevin VanDam to Andy Montgomery. So I'm kind of looking forward to talking to Andy because I figure Ron knows some things about him.
And with Andy, our conversation will slow down a lot just because of how fast he talks.
We'll be right back with Andy Montgomery on Outdoors with Larry Ray.